I'm at 86. I should be ready. Am I on air? Am I recording? I mean, I can't tell. Oh, I am. Sorry. There you are, guys. Hey guys, Lucas Green here, and I'm back. I know I said the next video would be the Linksy series, episode 2, and it is going to be, well, it is on the way. I thought I'd try something new and get out another video this way with my phone, see if I can do it. And the next video, of course, is a Spider-Man ranking villains video. I was searching up some tier videos to see if I could rank villains from Spider-Man, since I am a big Spider-Man fan, as you guys know. So I'll see if I can do a good job. They've obviously, this person, whoever made it, has listed off in S, A, B, C, D. I mean, I would have preferred better titles, so I would have had a better idea how to rank this, but we'll try our best. So let's see. Now you can change all these. If you don't know what tier lists are, they're like this. You have this setup here, and you'll have these icons. You can move them around and stuff, and pick who you want to go first, and you just put them in where they go. So this is an attempt. First up, we've got Kraven the Hunter. Oh my God, Kraven the Hunter. He's actually, if you see my Spider-Man villains, he's on my top 10 list. Oh my God, and he does have potential, but he's not the best thing in the world, but he's not the worst. I'll put him in the B tier, and if you heard my air freshener go off, you probably did. Up next, I think that's Electro, but I can't make out. Oh, it's Hydro Man. I think it's Hydro Man. Hydro Man. He's weaker than Kraven, I'd say. But he's got potential. He's got, depending on what backstory you give him, if you give him the backstory that he's one of Mary Jane's exes. But he has potential to be a good villain. So, oh, God. Ooh. I want to move him lower. I want to put him in the C category because something about him's off. I'll put him in the C category for now. If I change my mind, I can. So. Next up is Mr. Negative, who's gotten some recent spotlight since the Spider-Man PS4 game. And I do appreciate it. So based on that game, I think that pushes him up a bit higher than Hydro Man. Does it beat him against Kraven? That's debatable. I'll put him in the B tier. I don't think but this, like, if you don't know how it works here, if I can adjust this, there we go. Basically, when you do this, is like you put your first villain, your top villain of that tier first, and then rank it down, down, down. But who do I think is more interesting in the B tier? Kraven or Negative? And I do have ads on this, but what you gonna do? To be fair, I'd rather have ads than paying to remove them, to be honest, so it's fine. At least the ads are small. But yeah, so I think that's fine as it is. I think Kraven's a more interesting character. Every time I've seen him in something, he's always more interesting. So I think that's justified. Up next is one of the better villains, the Lizard, who's also on my top 10 Spider-Man villains. He's definitely going in the A category, because he's a more interesting character than Kraven is. Up next is Venom, so that's no contest of putting him in the S tier. If I can get him. Come on, can I grab Venom, please? Can I grab? Thank you. There we go. Put Venom in. My number one is obvious, but we'll get to him if we can bump into him. Who is this character? There are probably some characters I don't know on here as well. Is that Ghost Rider? Is it Blade? I don't know. I don't even know who this character is. I guess for the ones who I don't know, I may scrap them. Besides, look at this picture. He didn't take a good shot, so I'm gonna pass that one. This is one of the symbiotes from the symbiotes attack, one of the female ones, and I wasn't really I didn't get into those comic books where I knew every single symbiote. I did know some of them, like Riot and okay, not because of the Venom movie. I knew Riot before the movie, and there was Lasher and stuff like that, Scream or Shriek. But she's a symbiote, so I would imagine I would see her as one of the more mindless monster characters with a little bit of a backstory. I feel like she's just under Mr. Negative and a bit above Hydro Man. So I'll put her on the B tier, but just behind Mr. Negative. Can I put it like that? No, it's got to go this way. So still scrapping this character. Is that another symbiote? It could be Carnage, and if it is Carnage, I'm gonna put him in. Oh, if the Raptor watches this, he's gonna piss me off. Well, he's gonna get pissed if I put him anywhere lower. I'll put him in the A tier because he is a serial killer and he has potential. And I know it's all the basis. Someone has actually put him in the B tier. But I'm not gonna. I'm gonna be a nice guy and put him on the A tier for people. But I still think he's not as good as Kirk Connors is. Even though I will mention this. To be fair, it's been a while since I've done that top 10 Spider-Man villains video, and I've forgotten over the years of who I ranked where. But I know which members that were on that list. And I know, but Carnage was also on that list as well. But I feel like over time, I feel like my opinion, I just think Dr. Curtis Connors is a more interesting character. Only because he's a human being and you can relate more to a human being. Yeah, I know Cletus Cassidy is a human too, but he's an insane dude. So, he's more or less, well, so is Kurt, but he's less insane than Cletus, who's a madman. Get my point? So, there's my reasons why I put him a bit higher than Carnage. This might be Hammerhead, and if it is, it's a bad photo. So I'm not certain who that one is, so I'm gonna pass on to. It's another symbiote. I think this is the one I know. I think it's the Scream one. I know her more than this one, so I'll put her above if I can. It just allowed me then. I had to. There we go. I'll put it like that. Great. Thank you. Go back to the way I want you. That's it. No one's in the D tier yet, which is a good sign, apart from these two. I wish if that was other, I would put it as is. This one is Alistair Smythe, who I do know. From the, the 90s cartoon, obviously. So, the fact that the 90s cartoon made a minor villain so interesting helps boost him up. Is he better than Mr. Negative? He's got the backstory of the who wanting his father back. And I feel, in my opinion, I feel he's more sympathetic than Mr. Negative is. Because you don't get much time with Mr. Negative, in my opinion. So I'm putting him in the B tier. He has had temporary alliances with Spider-Man. And we're up next with Black Cat. So, kind of a villain, kind of not. Depends who she's working with. But she's easily going in the B tier. Because it's Black Cat, A tier? I'll put her above Kraven. How's that? Let's see. We've got another guy I don't know. I think that's Balisk, a minor Spider-Man villain who I am not aware of. So since I'm not aware of some of these characters, I'm going to put them in the D tier. That's just where I'm going. I'm going to assume I'm just assuming some sort of Major informant. I don't know who that is. So these are the villains I'm just going to put in the D tier. Not because they're bad characters, but just because I'm not sure on who they are and I don't know much about them. So if I can just grab Motorcycle Guy. There we go. Oh, this is Beetle. This is Beetle from. If you've seen the Ultimate cartoon, he's in that. But I still think he has potential. He could be like the Boba Fett of Spider-Man. But I see a lot of potential in this guy. So I want to say B tier. I'm grabbing characters I don't want to grab. Because all these pictures are grabbing all the time. Can I grab this? There we go. That's a bit better. If I grab the letters, it's easier. So Hydro. I'll put him above Hydro Man if I can grab Beetle. No, I'll put him like that. There we go. Again, it's another villain I don't know, so I'm putting him in. Since I don't know this character, I'm going to put him in the. Come on. Come on. There we go. I know, I've seen pictures of this guy, but again, I don't know him. I know one of Spider-Man's minor villains is called Cardiac, and that might be who that is. Let's just move on to Chameleon, since that's the more popular villain we know of. Chameleon! I'm trying to get some of these lesser players out of the way as well. Come on. Grab the thing. Oh, there we go. Chameleon. He's very minor in Spider-Man, actually, which is a shame. And the only time he was well used was in Spectacular Spider-Man, which is more important to the plot than anything. Yeah, thank you, Air Freshener. So let's say highest of C tier, if it'll allow me. Sorry, Blue Beetle, not Blue Beetle, Beetle itself. Another one, the Symbiote. This is the yellow muscular one. The other one is Riot, if you're wondering. And that's definitely Demo Goblin. That one there, I'm not sure who that is. The one after Demo Goblin. But let's put the Symbiote in its crater. I'll say... I know more about... Okay, my order's a bit muffled again. This was meant to go there, this was there. Well, I would say I know this one more, since I know this guy more because I unlocked him in a game. So that's why I'm putting him on the B tier? Oh, man. But the reason why I put them in the B tier is because they're symbiotes, so they should be powerful. So that's why I rank them a bit higher than others. If it's a list on power, because I don't know what this list is ranking the Spider-Man villains. We ranking the villains, like, what do you mean by ranking them? Demo Goblin... Let's see... Demo Goblin... Now, he was in Who and Why. That boosts him past the symbiotes. Does it pass him against Alistair Smythe? Oh, well, I know more about Smythe. That's the problem here, so I'm going to put him right there then. Right, where am I at now? This guy I don't know, so he's going into the D pile because I don't know him. Otto, and that's another player I don't know, so just put him in there too. Otto is going into to the S tier, and I put us up. Venom's more popular than Doc Ock in my opinion. That's Vermin, I know. Yeah, that is Vermin. Where would Vermin go? C tier. I would say D tier. Let's be generous to him, put him in the last place of the C tier at least. I know who this guy is. This is a Boomerang character, but I don't know who this Boomerang character is. I don't know much about him, so I'll put him in that tier. Green Goblin, my best villain ever, is obviously going straight to number spot. So, sorry Venom, you're getting shafted for this. Oh, there's Hobgoblin. And if you know me, I love Hobgoblin just as much as Green Goblin. Only because Mark Hamill voiced him, so I might have a bit of a softy spot for him. This is another minor character I don't know. I'm gonna put him in there. Okay, here's the deal. I'm gonna go back to S tier real quick. Hobgoblin, for me personally, I would put him in the S tier. But looking at it realistically, technically this is all my opinions, so I guess it's fine where it is. Well, I've just always had a spot for both Green Goblin and Hobgoblin. I think they work really well off each other. It's just my personal preference. It's just my little intense with the goblins. I just have a thing for them. They're just like, ooh, I just love how the goblins get into Spidey's head all the time. It's pretty cool. Electro's next, so where's he going at? I think I'll rank him a bit higher than average, because Spectacular Spider-Man boosted him up a bit. I'll say A tier. Go with A tier. Lesser than Cletus Cassidy, though. That's Jackal. Jackal did a big thing in the Clone Saga. I'll put him in the B tier. Mr. Negative is above Alistair Smythe. I disagree with that, so I'm pushing that back. That one might have switched it around. But Jackal, Jackal. He's better than Mr. Negative, is he? He made the Clone Saga, so that's something. So that's a better success. Alistair Smythe. I'll put him behind Alistair Smythe. There we go. Kingpin. That should be Kingpin, so I'm assuming that's Kingpin. God. I like him more than Mr. Negative. Basically, Mr. Negative is like the be-all. He's like the defining trait, like, he stands between good and bad, if you're a good or bad villain. And he's in between, he's Mr. It's ironic there. But Kingpin, boy. It comes down to, I'll put him behind Smythe. Again, I'm doing a lot behind Smythe here. This one's another one I don't know, so we're going into the Shaft category. I'm assuming that guy in the green tux might be Hammerhead, so if it is and I can't find him, I'll just put him up there. That is... Oh, I've seen this character before. Isn't that Kane of the clones, I believe? So I'm assuming that's Kane. I know one of the Kanes became Scarlet Spider. Maybe it's the same Kane, who knows. But I have seen him. I'll put him above Symbiotes. About here. Yeah, I'll stick with there. That's fine. That's fine. I'll put him in the B tier there. Morbius, which is ironic because Morbius is coming out for movies. So Morbius is a kind of a Dr. Kirk Connors character, but he's not as good. Kingpin is more interesting. Jackal, more interesting. Mr. Negative. No, I think Morbius is better than you, so there. That's the Prowler. And the Prowler's an anti-hero kind of thing. And it looks like that's the Hobie Brown Prowler. If it was the Jefferson Davis Prowler, not Jefferson Davis, Aaron Davis, the Aaron Davis Prowler, then I would put him in the A tier. But since it looks like the Hobie Brown, well, this is Spider-Man villains. Now, Hobie Brown did fight Spider-Man at one point, I believe, due to a misunderstanding, so kinda. Since this is the Hobie Brown, since I'm assuming this is the Hobie Brown one, I'm putting him in above Mr. Negative. Actually, no. Chameleon. Put behind Hydro Man. Before Vermin, obviously. So before, but he's not as good as Hydro Man, I would say. Mysterio. I like the picture of Mysterio, by the way. I don't understand why there's so much shaft on Mysterio. Mysterio's cool. So I'm giving him a, I want to say B tier. Yeah, I think he deserves a B tier. A low B tier, but he's getting a B tier. He is better than Negative, like most villains are. So that puts him right behind Morbius. Morbius? Or Mysterio? Morbius, just gonna go behind Mysterio. Jackal. I like Mysterio more than him. I guess this list is about who I like more, essentially. Which is, I don't know, I'm just making this list up as I go. Like, who do I prefer, where. I'm still trying to make it relatable to where the villains stand, because they have done things. There's the Efferson once again. But, you know, I still put Jackal next to... Even though he's done the Clone Saga thing, he's still got, like... Yeah, but after that, it's more of the Goblins thing, really. Rhino, oh god, Rhino, that's another villain. I don't know who that is. Let me just get this one out of the way because next is Sandman after that. Which is like ironic because those two are a dynamic duo in Spectacular Spider-Man. So if we can just grab Sunshine here. There we go. That's him sorted out the way. We got, yeah, Rhino, Sandman, Shocker, and Silvermane, and Doubleganger. I know who these guys are. Rhino, C tier, bit, I'd say, I think Rhino's better than Beetle, so I'm going to put him right behind Chameleon, so that's where I put him. Sandman, he's got a lot of development stuff, so he's going in B tier. Oh man. I put Electro above that cat, I just really... I guess I really like Electro that much. Let's see now. Sandman, A tier. Thanks, Adam. I know you won't, because we're talking about Easter stuff there. God, let's think. Oh my God, Sandman, B tier or A tier? Kraven? That cat is better. Kraven. I think Kraven is better than you, yeah. Alistair Smythe is definitely better. Kingpin. Kingpin is a more fun villain, but Sandman is a more relatable villain. Then there's Mysterio. And I think, realizing that, like, why I put Kingpin so high is because, like, Kingpin was fun, right? Mysterio seems to has more potential to do fun, so that helps me raise Mysterio up a bit. Kingpin is next. I feel like Sandman is better than Kingpin, so I'm putting him above Kingpin, and so that's where he ranks. Shocker. I love Shocker. I've always had a fascination for Shocker. He's another one of those fun villains for me. So that will put him above Sandman and behind Mysterio. Silvermane, I'm not really a big fan of. But where would I put him? He has some... In all honesty, I find Mr. Negative a better character than Silvermane, so I'm putting him here. Doubleganger, again, I've known from him from a few little things here. I feel like I know him a bit more than... I'll put him above... I feel like he's more... Even though I don't know much about him, I can see him being a much more interesting character than Silvermane. Riot, that's probably Riot right there. Since the Venom movie helps give him some sort of better development, we'll rise him up to be better than Demo Goblin. Silvermane is probably a bit better from the 90s cartoon. Demo Goblin. But Riot's about there for me. So, little fly dude here, which I'm gonna put in the shaft pile. Vulture is next. Next to Michael Keaton, you get a bit of a high age. We're almost done here now. Let's just get out the minor players we don't know. I think that all three of these guys I don't know. So essentially Vulture is our last one. Boom, boom, boom. All these guys I have no clue who they are. And I think that should be Hammerhead, so I'm gonna put him up there when this guy is done. So Vulture. Michael Keaton boosts you up a bit, so congratulations, you're not in the C tier. And the aging stuff you've done, spectacular. You were good, and you were voiced by Freddy Krueger of all people, so that boosts you up a bit. So that definitely puts you in B tier. Mr. Negative, I feel like you're better than him. Morbius, you're better than him. Jackal, you're more interesting than him. Kingpin, you're better than him. Sandman. Yeah, I like Vulture more than Sandman now. So basically, over the years, as time has changed, so I will have to redo the Spider-Man list when I get a chance to. Boy. Or you could say this is the redo. This helps me organize everything. Yeah, I guess this is like an update for the Spider-Man villains for me. Vulture, I will put. Oh my god. What? This has been going for 30 minutes. Black Cat is better than you, I'm sorry. I only have 3 in A tier and 4 in S tier for me. Yeah, so I think Black Cat's better than you. Kraven. Sorry, Kraven, you finally got beaten by Vulture there. Let me just check. There should be one there to the bottom. There he is. This is obviously Hammerhead now. I was assuming this wasn't Hammerhead, but now I know it is. I can't take it off the list. So let's just put it back there and see. Hammerhead should be in the C tier. I'll put him right behind Rhino. For me, Spectacular helps back him up a bit. But there's my list, guys, for me. On the villains. Green Goblin, obviously going to be number 1. Hobgoblin, kind of, again, it's similar enough to Green Goblin that, you know, you can't really blame me. Venom and Darkhawk, so I feel like the major players are up where they should be. Lizard is the first best on the A tier, which kind of makes sense. His backstory and development helps progress his character. I did put Carnage high on my list, not just for my sake, but also I know Garrett helped me, aka the Raptor, helped me put him high on the list for me, so that's there. Electro I've always had a good fascination for, so especially with Spectacular, which helps boost the character more than any other Spider-Man villain of how much relatability he has. So that puts him in the A tier. Black Cat is the B tier highest for me. Another relatable character there. And again, Michael, with following up to Vulture, he's like, thanks to Michael Keaton and all that stuff. But it's not just Michael Keaton though; it's also with Spectacular, and you also have the 90s cartoon. So there's enough backstory and there's enough development over the medias and stuff to make him higher when over the years. Kraven, I don't know why I put Kraven here, but I feel like I've underestimated the character, and there was that whole thing involving the black suit, so. He's had some good stuff, which makes me put him higher than I expected to. That's why I put him there, surprisingly enough. Mysterio, I felt... Only because of Alistair Smythe. That was the one Shabil there. Like, who did I prefer? That's why Kraven was wounded at one point, and you felt sorry for him. I don't recall feeling sorry for Mysterio at any point, only because they portray Mysterio as a douche in every version. In the 90s cartoon, he's kind of sympathetic, but not as much as other characters. The Spectacular, he's a douche. Well, just their standard villain. I forget the actor's name, sorry. I'm not the biggest on keeping up with names. But Far From Home Mysterio, he's still a douche, come on. Shocker. Wait, I lost my track of order. I did Vulture then Kraven, so I missed Alistair Smythe. Alistair Smythe, another sympathetic character trying to bring back his father. Thank you, Air Freshener. And all the Spider Slayers come from him, so I feel like he's a good challenge for Spider-Man, so that's why I put him that high. And you feel sorry for what happens to him with the whole Kingpin stuff, and then Mysterio comes in. Even though he's kind of a douche, he's still a fun character with all the illusions and stuff, and follow that up with Shocker, another great villain thanks to Spectacular Spider-Man and the 90s cartoon. Let's see now, we've got Sandman. Sandman is a bit lower than I expected him to be, but he's still high on the list compared to what I originally thought. He wasn't even on my 10 tier, but this would be a nice honourable mention. That's something for him. He's got the sympathetic backstory. He's with the Spectacular and the movies. He's not in the 90s cartoon due to attempt at... The reason why he's not in the 90s cartoon was because they were trying to make a James Cameron movie. So I believe he was one of the test villains for it, I guess. But we all know what happened to that in the 2002 movie. And up next is Kingpin. Even though he's kind of a douche, he's still a very good villain, especially in the 90s cartoon. They made him so enjoyable to watch. So that's why I think the best version of Kingpin is from the 90s cartoon. Because he's just such a flamboyant, Fabius character. Very perfect. Not like Godfather, but he still feels like his own thing. Jackal, yeah, kind of weak. I mean, the only thing he did that was awesome in my mind was the Clone Saga. And when you think about it, the Clone Saga was really done by Green Goblin, so it's not really his success more than he's a pawn of some other one. Like, he's kind of like, what's that guy's name? Ronan from MCU. Well, like, oh, you're just a pawn. It was Thanos that really killed my people, so I need to get revenge on him, kind of thing. It's not like the revenge thing, but you get my point. Ronan is a pawn to Thanos. So, Morbius is next. The only reason I think of why I put Jackal above Morbius is because Jackal did something bigger than what Morbius has ever done. Even though he's more sympathetic, he's done something bigger. Mr. Negative, you did have potential. You have beaten characters, so there is that. It's not a total loss, but I think you're in a good position where you should be. Because again, I still feel sorry for Morbius, what happened to him, and of course the upcoming movie I think might help surpass him. But as it stands, you're fine where you are. Doubleganger is just an interesting looking character. The whole six-arm Spider-Man with like the Venom mouth and stuff. Even though I don't know much about the character, his presence still is enough to put him high enough on the list, higher than Silvermane himself, of course. Then we've got the symbiotes with, well, one of them at least, Riot, and of course I think the Venom movie does help bulk him up a bit. At least we have some personality, even if it's not much. Demo Goblin, or Demo Goblin, whatever you call him. Still, he's a Goblin character, so I'm still going to rank him high above the remaining symbiotes. And of course, I'm about to screw up my thing there, so there we are. Up next is the symbiote that I've known a bit more than the others. And that is, I forget the name, but the yellow one. The yellow female one. And then we've got Kane. I know him a bit more than I would say I know a bit more information than Lasher and the other one, but not much. But they're still symbiotes, so I still rank them higher than other lesser-known characters. In my opinion, Chameleon still, even though he's the C tier, he still gets the highest on the C tier because he's, the Chameleon, so he can blend in to become anyone, which becomes really relevant to plots. So that's why I think his deception helps. Spectacular, the 90s cartoon, and I was going to say the Amazing movies, but he wasn't in those, even though there was references to him. Rhino kind of gets, the only thing good about Rhino is spectacular, I guess. He gets shafted in Amazing. He gets shafted in, well, he's just the glum idiot in the 90s cartoon, but he's still a good idiot, even if he's a dumb idiot, if that makes any sense. Hammerhead is better than Blue Beetle, but not better than Rhino. He's basically a weaker version of Rhino, think about it. Hammerhead, Rhino, similar point. Then you've got Hydro Man. Even though Hammerhead's kind of a slouch, he still is higher than Hydro Man, because Hydro Man's kind of like shafted a much. Prowler, depending on which version of the Prowler. I assume this was the Hobie Brown, and that's why he's up this. He's this low. The suit kind of helps back that up. Vermin, probably one of the least known Spider-Man villains to me, apart from the baggage here, which I'm not counting. But yeah, that's how I'm going to rank them for now. I hope you guys enjoy this video. It's about 33 minutes long. Sorry for the long episodes. Just check my timer. You can see how far we're into the day at. But we did good. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, smash the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit notification bell right corner down below. I was insane tuned for Lego DC Super and custom builds. Even though we're not doing a Lego custom, but stay tuned. If you like these tier lists and you have any suggestions of what tier lists I can do, if it's something I know, of course, like MCU, if you want to see like the DCU or the Star Wars, something like that. Something that's popular enough that I may know. Pirates of the Caribbean movies, you could suggest a few things and see and I'll reply if I've heard it or not. And if you want to see more tier lists, let me know. But yeah, as it stands, the upcoming Lengthy series season 7, episode 2 is on the way. It is taking a bit of time to make it. I am really hoping I can get out on Easter because I have Easter events in that episode. with the Rabbit General and stuff. So I am hoping I can get it out on Easter. If not, well, you can see why. I'll probably put a description if it comes out in May. You know, I don't think it will because we're still in the middle of we're still in early April, I'd say. So we still have a good time to get on. I'm at like 3 minutes in the episode, so I'm making progress. Anyway, that'll be all from me. I'll see you guys in the next video. It'll either be another tier video, or you'll have to wait a long while. Not a long while, but a while enough for episode 2 of season 7 of the Linksy series. Till next time, guys, I'll see you in the next video. Like always, peace. Or just pause it.